My name is Earl Maxwell. Welcome to the 15th Annual Ethics in Business and Community Awards presented by Recognize Good.
600 people are with us today in this room, and I think that the vast majority, if not everybody in this room, understands what Earl said earlier, that doing good is absolutely good business. And it's not just good for our business, but ultimately and most importantly, it's what it does for our community. And I think we all know what an amazing place that we live in. You know, that's not always the norm. If you go around the country, it's different. But here in Central Texas, we are blessed that we do live in a community that understands that doing good, that's what's normal in this town. That's what's normal in this part of the world. And that we have the opportunity to show that and have a level playing field for business, that we have fair practices in our businesses, and we provide that kind of business community, that kind of environment. So to me, it's something that's important. We've been doing this now for quite a while, and as I've said to Earl and to our mentor and leader, John Bosch, we've got to keep beating the drum. We've got to be out there and continue to do that, because what we're doing is worth protecting. It's something that's worth all of us standing up for and standing together, because when we're doing the good and we're providing that good environment, we form a foundation. We form a foundation that all of the business community is built under, and ultimately when we do that, we all are better, we all thrive, the businesses and the community, and that's something that's really worth fighting for. So I want to thank John Bosch and all of the recognized good people in the organization, and thank all of y'all for being here today.
It is an honor to stand here before you today representing Concordia University and the students who have worked on this project. Concordia University, Texas, the Samaritan Counseling Center, Recognize Good, and now Leadership Austin have a great partnership and a passion for ethics in business and for the Austin community. We consider it an honor to be a part of this process and see it as a natural connection. Our mission is that we develop Christian leaders. The premise of that type of leadership development rests not only in recognizing leadership and ethical practices, but acting in ways that promote those practices to see growth and impact in the Austin region. Over the years, I've seen Austin emerge as a leader in technology, entrepreneurship, social ventures, health sciences, and more. The foundation of that leadership is ethics. This city is filled with ethically run businesses, each seeking to improve and challenging others to uphold ethical standards. Indeed, these standards have been set and the bar is rising. The businesses represented here today are leading in those standards. So thank you, because you have set an example for our students. You have demonstrated the types of qualities that these students will look for in future employers. You have gifted them with real-world learning experiences that equip them to follow in your footsteps as ethical leaders, transforming our community into one that respects others, is fair and honest, strives for justice, and embraces sustainabilities. I'm very proud of the hours that these students put in and the quality of work that they delivered. I believe they gained an awareness of ethics in business in a way that is virtually impossible to replicate in any other format or any classroom situation. They've developed their professional interviewing, writing, and presentation skills. I believe they enter the business world as leaders, and they do so with a strong ethical foundation thanks to this experience here and the businesses represented here. Now, I'd like to introduce you to a student. The student is Matt Gandy, and he's a student who went through this process, and he's going to tell you about his experience with it.
We're exposed to companies who are built on ethical principles and those who are not. We had the opportunity to interview organizations that treat their employees with dignity and respect, and some who failed to. We examined organizations that instilled honesty and transparency from the top down and bottom up, and some that fell short. We saw organizations fighting for the rights of vulnerable human lives and some who neglected those rights. We interviewed organizations who treated us as students with respect and some who did not. All of these experiences served as data points and allowed us as students of ethics to build our own framework. We're able to see firsthand how we want to lead an organization one day. This is an opportunity that not many students get the chance to experience, but one that I believe is of the utmost importance for the future of business and community leaders.
I'm Ali Katal, Board Chair of Leadership Austin. The Leadership Austin Board jumped at the chance to join the effort in celebrating business ethics in our community. Leadership Austin is 37 years old and was originally founded in 1979 by the Austin Chamber of Commerce with the mission of providing leadership training with passion for Greater Austin. In 2002, we became a standalone 501c3 nonprofit and continue to believe each of us can engage in collaborative, inclusive, and sustainable leadership for our community. On behalf of the board and staff of Leadership Austin, congratulations to all nominees and winners today. You served this community well. Thank you very much.
So I'm proud to be here today representing Ashley & Associates, Certified Public Accountants and Business Advisors. Our firm was honored to receive an Ethics in Business and Community Award in 2014, and we are pleased to have continued to be able to play a role with Recognized Good, and again this year play the role of official ballot counter for the voting process. All the hard work of the Concordia students pays off today as we recognize all 15 award finalists and present this year's awards. With 15 unique perspectives on ethical business, we should all be able to take something valuable away from today's program to carry back with us into our day-to-day lives. We should each be inspired by the principles, ideas, and actions that have brought each of today's finalists to this point. Bobby, I turn them over to you.
Thank you.
You don't want the whole thing, do you?
So, there really are handcuffs on this.
There really
deal
are.
here. There really are.
There really are.
All right. Thank you so much, Harold. I
You
have
bet.
these.
You bet.
I will now present them to you. Harold, thank you very, very much.
No matter how large, every organization is made of individuals, and one individual can make all of the difference in an organization. Today, it's our pleasure to learn about 3 Central Texas leaders doing just that, making a distance. And the winner is La La Land. Making a difference.
This year's finalists in the individual category include a seasoned expert in philanthropy and fundraising who has helped countless nonprofits, a yoga studio owner and instructor who does everything she can to ensure a safe space for peace and healing, and a passionate father who fought hard to ensure his children were not limited by their disabilities, and along the way helped hundreds of others. Let's hear a little bit more from each of these inspiring individuals.
And the winner is John Lorick.
Wow, there's a lot more people here than when I spoke at the White House. Thanks to my wife and my kids. And all of y'all, the voters. This is a great way to close our chapter. A lot of y'all don't know we're moving to Illinois in 2 weeks, and we're going to do it all again. And I know you're riding through the Midwest in a while, and I'm going to have a Heineken in my fridge. So when you cross the Midwest, tell your 2 brothers I'm not going to have one for them because 3 Heinekens will kill me. You know, Google Mr. Jenkins, what he's doing is a great thing, riding his bikes across the country to find a cure. And thanks to all the parents who trusted their kids, my wife and I. And just because kids got disabilities doesn't mean they can't help the community. And that's what we teach the kids. Thanks.
Nonprofits often do incredible work, filling in the gaps, lifting up others in our communities. This year's Recognized Good Nonprofit Award nominees do incredible work in an incredible way, each from a unique perspective that we're honored to be able to learn about today.
This year's finalists are incredible nonprofit organizations here in our community. The category includes Austin's leading youth development agency that has given nearly 12,000 kids each year a safe place to be and a caring adult mentor. Additionally, we have a foundation that is dedicated to helping Central Texas fight homelessness, hunger, and poverty. And our third is the largest milk bank in the country, saving the lives of preterm and at-risk babies for the past 18 years.
And the winners are Mother's Milk Bank of Austin.
Thank you. In an imperfect world where babies are born too early and too small, the Mother's Milk Bank at Austin has been saving babies' lives by providing donor human milk since 1999. On behalf of the founders, the late Dr. George Sharp and Dr. Sonny Rivera, who had the vision that no baby should die unnecessarily because of a lack of milk, and on behalf of the milk donors who put aside their exhaustion and compassionately donate their store of surplus breast milk. On behalf of the board of directors who has the vision to allow us to grow, and on behalf of the financial donors who allow us to never say no to a baby in need and to always say yes to a need to grow. And finally, on behalf of the recipients and their families whose lives are saved, thank you.
Small business so often has to scratch and crawl to become and stay successful, but that doesn't mean we have to abandon our principles.
For small business, there's a really delicate balance between pragmatism and principle. It's a very delicate balance to achieve. But for small business that is able to get to that point, you can see them successful year after year, but it's not easy. Megan, what can you tell us about this year's finalists?
This year's finalists in the small business category include a leading designer and manufacturer of durable industrial motherboards and computer systems used in industries like energy, medical, and defense. One of the most effective tax representation companies in America, who also gives a whopping 33% of its profits to charity each year. And an independent wealth management firm who adopts fiduciary standards across all aspects of its business, even where it's not required by law. Let's hear from each of these remarkable small businesses.
And the winner is?
So exciting. Five Stone Tax Advisors.
Wow, what an amazing honor. Of course, thank you to Concordia and Recognize Good and the leadership folks and all the sponsors. First and foremost, I need to thank God who gives me the strength and the accountability to do good on a regular basis. My lovely wife, Kellen, who without her support and love and as one of our founding partners, I couldn't do what I do. All of our associates, this is an award for our associates and how they do business, and it's just such a high honor for all of them to get to share in this. And then all of the other nominees, last year we had the joy of being nominated as well as a finalist, and what I was saying is that we already won at that point. Just to be a finalist, this is so amazing. And so to the other finalists, I'm sure it's just a hair's difference in terms of, the outcome here. So congratulations, and thank you again. Thank you very much.
A mid-sized business can benefit from a combination of deep resources, agility, and close customer relationships. The culture of mid-sized business also walks a line between established protocols and a family atmosphere.
This year's finalists in the mid-sized business category include a national leader in branded community-powered banking products that help drive growth for hundreds of local banks, a 30-year-old homegrown automotive repair facility with 16 neighborhood locations, which prides itself on relationships, and a technology service company headquartered in Austin that serves 60,000 customers in 140 countries around the world. Let's hear a little bit more about each of them and shine some light on the video.
And the winner is WP Engine.
We are so honored to accept this award and to be alongside such an incredible group of nominees, not just in our category, but from across everywhere else. It is really comforting to know that doing the right thing really is good for business. WP Engine is a shining example of that. It's not easy every day, and sometimes doing the right thing actually does impact the bottom line, but that's not what it's about. It's about our over 400 employees, and for them knowing that WP Engine is their business and that they know how they'll be treated with respect, with honesty, and with truthfulness, that whatever we're doing in the business is because of them. We promote over 30% of our team members every single year, and we give opportunities because that's what people earn every day. So thank you for the support, and thank you for this incredible award. We are just blown away. Thank you.
Well, Earl and Bobby, you know the event has really grown when you have two podiums. We used to only have one. All businesses want to build trust among their customers and partners, but the larger a business is, the more difficult that trust is to develop and nurture. This year's finalists in the large business category have all built that elusive trust, which is an accomplishment all in itself.
Well, and you know, Russell, in all the years I've known you, my friend, you've never been elusive in the trust that you've earned from so many people, you, your company. Ethics is something you just don't do for a year, win a prize and you're done. It goes on. You have to live up to it and abide by it and try to strive for it all the time, every year. Just like you, Russell, is a recent retiree. I don't know if y'all know that. Good ethics never goes out of style. You just keep working on it and aspiring toward it, just as our companies today and our finalists have done.
So, Sandy, I'm going to call this meeting of the Old Geezer Society together. We do have spent many years working in our communities to guide 3M and IBM in ethical interactions with the community. But you're never too old to learn, and we've heard some great best practices here today.
We sure have. That's right. Well, again, thank you, and it's just a pleasure to see the new companies, the newly recognized companies, maintaining the golden rule, if you will. Well, Russell, we're old enough, I guess. I could have sent Watson here, IBM Watson here, but Watson wasn't available, so you're stuck with me. But Russell, I do have my Post-it notes to announce. So this year's finalists in the large business categories. Let me rip the first note off. One of the largest food retailers in North America, with more than 350 stores in Texas and Mexico, and giving 5% of pre-tax earnings to charity. Next Post-it. The world leader in secure connectivity solutions for embedded applications with over 45,000 employees in more than 35 countries. Very impressive. And a leading provider of award-winning technologies, helping shape the future of the Internet of Things, Internet infrastructure, industrial automation, and automotive markets, with over 1,300 team members in 20 countries worldwide. Roll that video. Let's look at them.
And now I get the honor of announcing the winner. This year's winner, I'm going to make sure I do this right because, you know, on certain award shows it hasn't been done correctly. Silicon Labs.
All right. Wow. Thank you, everyone. Thank you to Recognize Good and to everyone who voted and to really all of our stakeholders. I've got a few of our employees here, the ones that could fit on the table. We have our Chief Ethics Officer, otherwise known as our Chief Marketing Officer, Michelle Grieshaber, and Jackie Paget, who runs our community involvement. And I want to thank everyone at Silicon Labs for helping to make this possible. You know, it's really all about living your values. And, you know, I look at the items up here on the screen: be respectful, be fair, be honest, strive for justice, embrace sustainability. And those really reflect who we are. And we've been in business for 20 years now, and we post our values up in every conference room. And there's talent and good products and collaboration and innovation and those sorts of things. But the last one is do the right thing, and that's really about the ethics and about all the stuff that you see here. And that's how we've been running the business and treating people since day one. We have a lot of involvement with the community. We have a lot of our executives on boards with nonprofits, try to really keep our feet on the ground, and at the same time, keeping the company going in the right direction. But having an ethical foundation and not taking shortcuts and really focusing on innovation and hard work and treating people the way they should be treated is a big part of success. So I want to thank everybody, our employees, our customers, our partners, and the community as a whole for helping to make all this possible. We're very honored to receive the award. This will go in a very prominent place, and I guess I should stay on script and on time and let y'all get home. So thank you very much.
I do have the privilege of being a servant leader with the Samaritan Center. I've been there for 2 years, and it's a tremendous honor. But obviously, we couldn't complete our mission without great friends, and we have 600 wonderful friends. So thank you so much for your support. But this event couldn't achieve what it has achieved in the past 15 years without a wonderful supporter and friend of ours. And I'd like to thank John Bosch from Recognize Good. My job is so easy. I just get to thank friends today. Samaritan Center provides help to service members and veterans every single day. In fact, 40% of the work we do is with our service members. I'd like to ask Marissa Limsiaco to please join me up here at the stage. Marissa is a West Point grad. She's a cadet and a U.S. commander. Marissa was promoted to commander at West Point. She led a 108-person support unit responsible for deployment processes of more than 800 service members entering and leaving Iraq. She holds a Master's of Public Affairs and Executive Masters of Public Leadership from the University of Texas at Austin, as well as an MBA from M.J. Neely School of Business at Texas Christian University. She's a great friend.
I have to kind of feel like Sean Spicer up here for a second. So first, it is extremely inspiring of me to be amongst all of you successful businesses. There is, as a business owner myself, there is only one option, and it is to do the right thing always. I'm reminded of a quote I don't want to share with you all that I had to memorize at West Point. I no longer memorize, but it's a quote that kind of reminds me of everything going on today. The discipline which makes the soldier of a free country reliable in battle is not to be gained by harsh or tyrannical treatment. On the contrary, such treatment is far more likely to destroy than to make an army. He who feels the respect which is due to others cannot fail to inspire in them regard for himself, while he who feels and hence manifests disrespect toward others, especially his inferiors, cannot fail to inspire hatred against himself. And you would think I would have memorized that. I got in trouble and I had to write that about 50 times over and over again. Point. It's an absolute honor to be asked to speak to you all on behalf of the Samaritan Center today. Combat is devastating, and it changes everyone. During my own deployment, I lost one of my soldiers that I was in charge of, and many other friends during that time. I did not come back the same person. I did a very good job of hiding my panic attacks, sleep issues, depression, anxiety. I pushed it all aside with medication for years, finishing up a very successful military career, and got out in 2010. The transition was tough. as it is for most veterans. I had a hard time figuring out my identity and relating to civilians who did not understand my skill set. I did not have a clear purpose when I got out. Upon returning home to Austin, the VA recommended the Samaritan Center, and that's when everything started to turn around for me. I was enrolled with the Samaritan Center within their Hopes for Heroes program. I am out of the darkness with hope, love, and happiness thanks to three things: my family, to include my mother and my wife who are here today, my friends, and third, no doubt, the Samaritan Center. I always consider them part of the recovery. There are a lot of veterans out there that are not as lucky as me with friends and family that were such great support, but they could have the Samaritan Center as well. It's the only place in our area that provides affordable wellness and mental health services to veterans. Thank you again very much for having me today. Congratulations to all of you for your success. Thank you.
So I'm proud to announce that our 2017 Lifetime Achievement Award goes to both John Garrett, CEO at Community Impact Newspaper, and to Susan McDowell, Executive Director at LifeWorks. I'm friends with both of these leaders, and I've been watching them for the past 20 years or so, and I'm just amazed at what both Susan and John have accomplished. John and his wife, Jennifer, launched Community Impact Newspaper in 2005 with the goal of building communities of informed citizens and thriving businesses. Now, 2005 is when the huge decline of the print industry, the print media, began. So who would start a newspaper in 2005? That took a lot of courage. So John founded Community Impact with 3 employees covering Round Rock and Pflugerville. Community Impact Newspaper now has 22 hyperlocal newspapers in Texas with a circulation over 1.7 million homes, and I look forward to it every week. Susan helped create LifeWorks after over 15 years ago, when she and other nonprofit leaders, they were all in the same Leadership Austin Essentials class, realized that they were serving lots of the same people. Because of their outstanding devotion to achieving success the right way in our community, we are honored to present the 15th Annual Lifetime Achievement Award to John Garrett and Susan McDowell. Please join me in welcoming them to the stage.
Well, Susan, I don't know about you, but like when I got the email that about a Lifetime Achievement Award, I feel like I'm kind of young still.
Thank you.
You feel the same way?
Yeah.
I was like, well, maybe like they know something about my health that I don't know, or maybe because you work at a newspaper industry, they think, let's give this guy an award before the company dies. I just want to Recognize Good. We love what y'all do, and thank you for all the leadership here, the sponsors that make this thing happen. Those of you that know me know 2 things about me. First thing is that anything that's good that comes out of me is due to my amazing Savior, Jesus Christ, period. The second thing is I'm way out of my league with my wife first and my business partner, Jennifer, who is incredible, not only my best friend, but she's an incredible business partner, and she doesn't get nearly the credit she deserves, for sure, for the help that she makes our company. And then also the rest of the staff. If y'all stand up, I got a few of my staff members here. Y'all stand up. Way out of my league in terms of the people I get to work with every day. If you've ever done business with Community Impact, we've got 200 folks. I think hopefully you've seen who we are. And I think it was awesome to see Five Stones win tonight. They for 2 reasons. Number one, they represent us, which is just kind of a cool coincidence. But number 2, we also have our values, we call it 5 stones from the David and Goliath story, of faith, passion, integrity, innovation and quality. And what's interesting to me is that it's kind of that idea of birds of a feather flock together. You know, the idea that businesses in this room that are getting recognized as finalists and award winners and individuals, you know, we need to flock together. We need to hold each other accountable. We need to help each other, inspire each other, motivate each other. We're not perfect. We all know that, but we can help each other be even better. So on behalf of the 200 community impact employees, my amazing wife, my 3 beautiful daughters, and I love the story in the Bible where it says we'll lay our crowns down at Jesus' feet. I laid this down at his feet as well, and I just want to say thank you for the recognition.
So it's quite a road from Austin Under 40 to Lifetime Achievement. There have been a few years between the two. So when I got notification that I was a finalist, I thought, okay, don't get caught up here unprepared. So I prepared a couple of words. But what I thought about saying, because it's kind of overwhelming, is what it means to me to receive a recognition named after Anita and Earl. And as I was thinking, I actually remember, and many of us probably remember maybe, the first day we met Earl Maxwell. It was for me in 1995, pre-Austin Under 40, right? 1995, I was very young and I was kind of wobbling around my first serious leadership position in the community, and I got invited to join a very public council that Earl was a part of. And so I got to my first meeting, and I should say televised meeting, and it was called to order by the chair, who called it to order, again, televised, by looking at me across the table, clearing his throat and saying, "So who are you and what are you doing here?" Like, who let her in? Do we have an intern now? What's she doing here, right? So I was deer in headlight. I was complete deer in headlight, scared to say a thing, until there was a break in the meeting. And Earl approached me, and to be fair, I think Russell and Sandy were in on this too. Approached me, hand outstretched, with a welcome that was so genuine and so warm that it kind of completely laid waste to any preconceived my very, very young self, raised in the 80s self had about what it was to be a business leader, right? And then a couple of years later, I met Anita. Again, such warmth. But what struck me at this point was here was a couple who was clearly living a belief that who we are to each other in the world and how we are to each other in the world, in business, in family, in community, is just what matters. And that every relationship, no matter how fleeting or transactional, needs to be treated with authenticity and never surrendered to what feels like the constant temptations around ambition, around cynicism, or even just carelessness. So whether we're sitting across the table from a difficult client or a troubled employee, or like my colleagues at the Samaritan Center, sitting with individuals who may be really struggling with their dignity amidst pain, how we are to each other in those moments is really our largest leadership call to action. So fast forward 22 years later, and I just believe we're at a moment in history where this ideal has never been more important. So it is with just the tremendous humility about what this award and what all of these awards today means and what this event is about that I received this with gratitude, and with my husband, my beloved husband Bob, who is here today, a commitment to continue to live up to what it means. So thank you.
Everybody who's shining a light right now, it means something. And just think about how much light there is in this room collectively right now. Think about how, as partners, we in this room, we stand together, united as businesses and community, to truly make an impact and to make Central Texas stronger. As partners, we all thrive when we say, take a stand, together for good, And that's why we're all here today to support the Ethics in Business and Community program. And this is the part I love, to illuminate and shine a light on those in our community who do good and absolutely make our community stronger. To all of you, go out and shine that light on the good in our community. Thank you so much for being here.